and I live in Portugal. Today we're gonna go have some jantar with our Portuguese vizinha. It's also their 52nd wedding anniversary. Let's go have some jantar.
Vamos.
Welcome to the Portuguese Collective podcast. Louie and Morgan, you guys know them from social media. They've literally become an overnight sensation. I hear everyone talking about your guys' life on a farm in Portugal. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so fun to be here. We're excited.
I'm excited too. I'm so excited. I have so many questions of my own, but I think we need to start from the very beginning. Where are you from, Morgan? And then we'll go with Louie after.
Okay, so I'm from the United States, specifically Virginia, like Southern Virginia, and that's it. Super simple.
I am from Fall River, Massachusetts. A lot of Portuguese over there.
So you guys basically left your jobs and retired early from what I'm gathering from some of the videos I've heard. So please correct me if I'm wrong. You guys basically, I think Morgan had a big to do with this, right? She kind of made it happen where you had the idea, right, Louie?
Oh yeah, it actually happened. I would say probably before we moved here this past February, so 2025 February. But prior to that, we had, I would say, for almost up to 4 years, we had loosely planned this idea. It all started one day. If you want to hear about how I came up with the idea, I'll tell you real quick. So
I
I
think
was
it's
at
an inspiration because people would die to have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We were working together. So we worked at a shipyard in Virginia. We were working together, and I had a coworker next to me. And, you know, this guy's as country as can be. And he's like, hey, he looks over at me and he goes, hey, you're Portuguese, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, I am. And he's like, when you retire, you should retire to Portugal. And I was like, really? I never actually thought of that because my parents came from Portugal. So I never actually thought about that. I'm like, why do you say that? Why do you think? He goes, well, it's one of the safest countries and you speak the language. And I think you'd probably like it. The climate's good and whatnot. You know, he ran through a list of things that he was just online looking when he was supposed to be working. So I'm like, I never thought of that. So I go over to Morgan, I just kind of mosey over to her desk and I'm like, Greg says that, I should retire. We should, when we retire, we should think about moving to Portugal. And Morgan's like, yeah, that sounds like a fun idea. Let's do that. I'm like, okay,
Why
cool.
would we not?
So, if we stayed in with the government, you would kind of retire earlier and versus 65, whatever the retirement age was at the time. And I was like, well, instead of waiting that long, what if we can make this happen earlier? And we have no idea how we would make this happen earlier. And she's like, hell yeah, if we can do this earlier, I'm on board too.
Okay, but our earlier is thinking can we make this happen in 10 or 15 years, not
Right.
when we're 60, right? And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll just start looking into it. I think somehow we were like, well, let's look into property. And this is wow, this is going way back, Sylvia. We're like, let's look into property. So we reach out to a real estate agent in Portugal. She's like, she gives us a little bit of information on what it is to buy a house in Portugal. But then she's like, you should talk to this gentleman that I just sold a house to, who lives, I think he lives on Pico, the island. So we ended up having a whole conversation with this man. And he was like, if you guys are going to do anything, you need to join this Facebook group called American and Friends PT. So I joined that. And that was a plethora of knowledge as to how you would do this, how you would even accomplish this. And that is kind of what got things going for us a little bit, right? We're like, okay, we need to have this much money. We need to have these documents. This is what we can expect to pay. Just a whole list of things. And then I don't know how, but we're like, okay, well, maybe.
So during that time, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
during that time, we had this idea that we're going to retire early, so we start living on less and we start not buying as much junk as we used to. And we start selling things and we end up selling our house. We end up moving back to Massachusetts because we're like, yeah, from there, our next step's going to be Portugal. Unfortunately,
Wow.
we lived only in Massachusetts for a year. We came back to Virginia and then the next step was Portugal. So we just started downsizing everything.
Yeah.
We started downsizing everything. And we started, I say manifesting, right? We started living like we're already en route to the eye on the prize. Morgan would put on YouTube and we watch walking tours of San Miguel and Portugal.
Whatever, yeah.
Because we're picturing ourselves, I know it sounds zany, right? But
No.
it sounds crazy, but we're picturing ourselves there to make it more realistic.
Because it felt so far out. Like it felt so detached. So we're like, every little step we can take to get there, and make it come as soon as possible. So while we lived in Massachusetts, this is actually where the first, like, I feel like I tell people this all the time. For us specifically, we knew that this was meant to be because we had so many doors like open for us. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like we knew that we were going to have to get visas, right? And it's so hard to get a visa, and immigration is not easy, and it's not cheap. And when we lived in Massachusetts, mom and dad are still Portuguese citizens. We took his mom to the consulate to get a passport renewed so we could go on a cruise in the United States. And while we were there, the lady was like,
She's
uh,
like, "Hey, did you ever think about getting dual citizenship?" And I was like, "Hey," and Morgan's sitting in the corner. And I'm like, "Hey, babe, she just asked me if I ever thought about getting dual citizenship. What do you think?" She's like, yeah. What the hell? What do
guys,
you?"
at this point, I know what it means to get a visa. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that nationality, that citizenship, you bypass all of that. And I was like, that is amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very,
So,
very, very fortunate to have my
yeah.
It
parents.
was like the universe was like, please,
Yes.
yes, keep
First door wide
going. We're
open.
here for you. That's amazing. So something that felt so far away ended up the steps just kept the check mark. You were checking things off your list way faster than you would have expected.
Well,
And
by living on less, we know this is going to cost money, and we're not rich by any means. By living on less, we're saving. We're going out to eat less, things of that nature. Every little bit we can with penny pinchings.
yeah, like we had a nice car. We had a really, really nice car, and we sold that and downsized to a really small, tiny car with no payment. So that way,
It was just
it
done.
was,
We definitely lived on a lot less, and knowing that one day we didn't know when it was going to happen, but we got to work to. If we don't start now, when are we going to start?
yeah.
Am I going to start in 5 years? Then I'm going to be like, wow, I should have started 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
why not start now?
Yeah.
Because you never know what
Wow.
could happen.
So, wow, that's seems way more easier than I think that most people have a go at this kind of retired life. But now there's kind of like a trend. I know that we follow each other on TikTok, and I feel like we see more of that on TikTok where it's like, I'm learning Portuguese. I'm going to Portugal or various countries, and people are really taking the leap to get out of the States and live a life that just gives more quality. And we're learning to live with less. And I think you just preparing yourself for that. Do you feel like it kind of was easy to adjust to Portugal because you do live with less and okay with it, right?
We do live with a lot less.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, in fact, today, so sometimes we still go back to that old, like, United States American mentality and like living living on less. I feel like we definitely do, but like even today, we were like, let's go try to find some fall decor. We've been on the hunt for like a little bit of fall decor for because we sold everything. We have nothing. We have like one box of a few special ornaments for Christmas. And
Right.
clothes. That's all we came here
Yeah.
with. We're like, let's go find a little bit of decor. And I swear, Sylvia, we've gone to like 10
We went
stores.
everywhere. There was
And,
nothing.
and we even said today, if we had Target or TJ
We'd be
Maxx,
done.
we'd have everything
Well,
we
I was
need.
surprised you guys found Halloween stuff because I mean,
I
10
know.
years ago, they would have been like,
Yeah.
Halloween, ew, like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Interesting. Interesting.
It's
I made a
So it's
video
just,
about it, so it'll be out in a couple of days.
this won't be out for at least another week, so you could go
Awesome.
first. Okay, so where did it, like, how did you choose? One, you're originally not from the mainland. Your family stems from the Sodas Louie. So what made you automatically choose Portugal instead of going to the islands?
Check this out. So my dad is from San Miguel, Açores, right? My mom is from
We talked about this once.
Vidigueira,
Yeah.
Portugal. She's from Vidigueira, so she's a little south of where we are right now. So their
Got it.
styles in stock completely different. Somehow I got my dad's Azorean accent, and now my mom's Alentejo.
I
So
know. I'm a
originally,
minority out here. There's no one from Alentejo, so they're like, you roll your R's and you pronounce every single syllable.
no offense to the Alentejo, because that's half me too. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's fun to hear the difference, and I notice it especially living here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, do I just not know how to speak Portuguese at all?
So I totally want to break away from like those stigmas, and I talk to Alex Batata Frita about this a lot because she gets so much shit about her speaking with her Radfish accent. And I'm like, how can you talk bad about an accent that was influenced from parents that were born there. Like that's
Right.
literally how they sound. And you can't say it's right or wrong because that's how they speak there. Like that's their right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I
so
get
I always get, I'm
so
like, we gotta
much.
break that somewhere
Yeah. I get
where it's
so
like
much
you're
hate
right, you're
online.
wrong, or it's
It's
Portuguese.
like it's Portuguese. It's all Portuguese. It's just a dialect. It's no different than like Southern in the United States and, you know,
Yeah. Northern.
Northern.
Like I sound, I'm from Massachusetts, 100%. She had a southern charm to her. Somehow we made it work.
Yeah, she definitely charmed you. And she's like, Portugal? Yes, let's go.
Yeah, I'll take it. So you were asking how I decided on the
Oh, yeah,
mainland.
yeah.
Originally, we did not decide on the mainland. Originally, we had visited San Miguel twice because it was like where my dad was from. I had been to Portugal mainland a few times as a kid to visit my grandparents, but I had never been to San Miguel because my dad's family all migrated over to America. So we went for our honeymoon to San Miguel, and we absolutely adored it. Loved it, fell in love with it. We went again like a year and a half later, and we're like, this is the place. This is the place. So we started looking. But the housing there, as you would probably imagine, it's an island, so it's a lot more limited, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, babe, what about we take a trip to mainland, right? I was like, she's like, all right, cool. Unfortunately, our dog got sick. He passed away. We didn't go that time. So almost a year goes by, and now it's time for us to make the move. I gave my 4-week notice. It's time to make this move. And I'm like, let's try the mainland. So she is working with a Portuguese tutor who she lives in Lisboa. You've probably seen her on video. Her name's Isabel.
Yes.
She asks her friend Isabel, where would you move to if you could do it again, if you were in Lisboa? And her tutor goes, I would live in a vid. And Morgan goes, okay, let's check it out. So I come home from work and we look at it and we're like, this is the Venice of Portugal, it says. This is beautiful. Yeah, let's do this. This is a no-brainer.
You know, those walking tours on YouTube, we watched a lot of those just to kind of like get a feel for it as if we were there. And we really did it sight unseen.
Sight unseen. We took a chance. We rolled that dice for real.
Yeah, you did. That's an inspiration on its own because I think we have so much fear in us to make those jumps and do that. So, oh man, kudos to you. You're like living so many people's dream right now. But where did the farm come into the picture of all of that?
Crazy.
So it wasn't always like that when we got here, right, babe?
Yeah, when we got here, it was dark and gloomy, and it wasn't the dream that everybody thought it was going to be. And it is so hard saying that because we know how fortunate we are, and we know how fortunate we are now. But we were miserable. We were miserable.
It was harsh.
For like
a good solid 3.5.
months.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, we tried so hard. We did everything we could to pull ourselves out of it. I mean, it was just hard. You know, you move here and you don't know anything. You know, for me, I'm learning the language. We have no connections besides my friend who lives 3 hours away. We have absolutely nothing. So we spent the first full month just trying to get basic things, you know, like just trying to get basic things, which that's a question I get asked all the time. They have everything you need, but like when you have nothing, you know, and building from scratch, it's very, I didn't realize today that I needed a hairdryer, right? Or like whatever. And so then and of course, when we first moved here, we have the rainiest, windiest, coldest winter they've ever seen here.
Dang.
So every day.
So you guys moved in February, right?
Yeah. Every day was rain. I'm talking like it was raining.
Chuva, vent, mais.
Our apartment was freezing, Sylvia. We didn't have any
The doors
heaters.
have now shut. They're like, you're there. Universe is not helping you anymore.
Yeah. Well, and then, okay, so then here's where the next door opens, right? Louie is like, I am done with this apartment, Morgan. It had a lot of problems. We just were not feeling like home. Like it wasn't for us. And I was like, okay, well, let me try to find us another place. No?
Cat fell out the window there.
First month, our cat fell out the window and broke 3 toes. So
second month in March. Yeah.
Like 1 month later. Yeah. So it was a very hard time. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can find us another place. So I looked on Idealista, which is just like a realty site. And there were a few properties, but there was one house because we were debating, do we stay in this area or do we go to another area? We just moved here. Do we really want to move again?
We're just getting settled in. The huge mall is there. It was easy for us to walk there if we needed to. We didn't have a car. We were using a rental for almost a month.
Yeah. We were like, do we want to move again? But then I got a call. I just reached out to a few places. It was like 3 places. There were like 2 apartments in the city and 1 house. And then I got a call the next day from a realtor, and he was like, do you guys want to come see it tomorrow, the house tomorrow? And
We were like, what? This guy actually got back to us
yeah,
because
'cause that's the
sometimes they
thing.
don't.
They don't.
Sometimes
I was like, Louie, you want to go see this house? And we looked it up again, and it was only like 20 minutes away. And we were like, yeah, okay, fine, sure. We're on the ride there the next day, and we're like,
it was
really?
rainy, it was gloomy. We're like,
Do we really
it was
want
a
to do
Saturday.
this?
We're kind of tired. We're like, do we really want to do it? You know, we're saving money if we do. It's further away from everything, and we
Yeah.
just got used to where everything is the other place. I'm like, all right, let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So we do.
So we get here, and already we're like, okay, this is lovely, right? Like there's like fruit trees, and like it's just kind of more quiet, and it's on like an
Yeah.
old road in Portugal, you know? And then the realtor comes, and we walk into the house, and we're like walking around, and I'm like, this is our house.
She
This
fell in
is
love
our-
with it immediately.
Like, I know this is our little house. you
Wicked
know?
old charm, very
Yeah.
old Portuguese charm,
Yep.
very, very.
Yeah.
Everything is made with you know, with a lot
Yeah.
of love.
And then we're
Oh.
standing here, and a few things. We're standing here. The first thing I'll mention is the realtor goes, yeah, it's a tankless water heater. And we're like,
I was
oh,
like, babe, sold.
sold.
Because
Because
the other apartment, the
This
tank
is
was
the
the size of a small bottle.
Oh gosh.
we both couldn't shower like right back to back.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
Not even 2
cold.
minutes. I'm not even talking
Yeah.
about 2 minutes. You'd be like, that's it. There goes the water. Ice
And
cold.
We're just bitching.
You guys are gonna be able to have the in my day.
Oh, yeah. My
Yeah.
dad, God forbid he hear this. Oh, no, je ne tengo agua para lavar.
Okay, but you guys raised us to be this way.
Bougie,
you know?
right?
You guys
Bougie.
raised
Yeah, for
us to
sure.
be comfort.
Yeah.
So then the next thing is the realtor goes, yeah, and it's on a farm. Like they have a farm just right out here. And we were like, can we go see it? Like
First, he
what?
was like, the owners live
Yeah.
on the same property. And I was like, I don't know
I
if I
feel
love
about
that,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, let's go see the farm. So this dude's walking around, just prancing around this person's yard and farm. I'm like, can we go back here? And it's like,
Yeah.
Like their backyard.
it's an
you know?
oasis. It's an
Yeah.
oasis, right? The Portuguese kids were here checking out. They were pretty amazed by it, right? It's a beautiful oasis. Animals, there's fruit, there's
A pond.
couves, there's pui, there's tomate, there's
Everything.
a cat named
Yeah,
Pinti.
there's like an element of where you guys are living and kind of takes you back in time a little bit. Like
Exactly.
it's kind
Yeah.
of like this timeless feel. Like, and I think that's what attracts a lot of people to it, where it's like, oh, they're really living Portuguese.
Yeah.
They're going back like our parents. Like
It's so cool.
it is so cool because that's how I think a lot of us should be living, right? Like
Yeah.
growing our own food and really going back to the basics. And like you're finding so much beauty in that.
It's gorgeous because we get so wrapped up where we were before. Your whole life, right? My whole life. All I was taught from 15 to 9 months. You got your worker's permit. You got your driver's permit. Trabalhar. That's it. Oh, I'm so proud. I got 3 jobs. Like for what, dude? Like you're working yourself to death, you know? And I don't want to, you know,
Granted, that for us, that's us, right? Like this is the choice that we made and the life that we've built that we want. Our Vizinhas, they go,
Absolutely.
go. Like they're still living that work mode, but it's in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we'll hear his little timing belt on his car start up at 2 a.m. so he can go check the cows down the road or the corn
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. You know, they're still like living that work
Yeah.
life because they're providing for their families. You know, like she's cooking, she's cleaning, she's taking care of the farm, and she's cutting the chickens and ducks, and you know, like she's old school.
Yeah, she's in the trenches. She's in the trenches. She's not afraid of nothing. You know what I mean?
I know, man. They're
She's
built
us.
differently.
I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know. These Portuguese women from those generations were born differently. Like it's different. They're cut from a different cloth. Because my mom, like our neighbor one time came screaming out of her house because there was a snake in her backyard. And my mom literally grabs a shovel, runs across the street and just freaking hits the snake. And I'm like,
No
"Oh,
fear at
fear."
all.
Yeah,
gotta be
she's
done.
from Alentejo.
See,
She's from the campo. She's not scared of shit.
Gotta do
she's
it.
used to
she
it.
was taught young.
Wow, that's so cool. I think there's also that element that people love is your Zinga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's become a little bit of your story too, where there's so many videos where Morgan, you had one where where you explained that she was a costureira and she was a seamstress. And I think a lot of us have the vozinha or the great tios and stuff. There's somebody in your family that does that, and you're like, oh my god. And you think about like baby blankets and clothes that were made, and that just doesn't really happen anymore. So to see that she's still doing it for her grandkids and
That's
teaching
a
her
beautiful
grandkids
thing.
and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
it's a really cool. Like these things are not going to be around forever, but they are
Right.
part of our tradition.
It's cold and they're just sitting there and they're doing their little things. Yeah.
So you lighting so much of that tradition too, also while navigating this new adventure of starting up fresh and like also like you guys can do it too. Like anybody can do this, not saying that you have to live on a farm, retire early and do all these things. I think we live in a world now, like we spoke, where it's work, 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 work. And then especially as children of immigrants, where everything will happen as long as you work. As long as you work hard, then you'll be good. And we're living in a world where it's like we're working hard, but we're not good. Like
Yeah.
We're
this is
working
not
hard, but
good.
not hard
Yeah.
enough on ourselves.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. And also like things are just not affordable. And not that it's not, I mean, it's like that here. And that's like there's this really hard thing that we have to kind of balance on when it comes to our life here because, you know, the people who are born and raised here, like I think the average salary here is 800 euros a month. Like that's
Crazy.
nothing. And we are recently starting to see just how expensive things are here too. So it's a really fine line of like there's so much nuance. It's not, the easiest thing. And like we just have to reiterate, like we're very fortunate we have this opportunity and many other people have this opportunity, but also to really appreciate the country that you're in and the people that you're potentially affecting. And, it's a really difficult conversation.
Right, because then there's the other side of it where the native Portuguese people are getting upset for the people wanting to now live in their country that is hiking up all the prices for everything and not making it as easy for them. So Portugal has always been known for being so incredibly amazing to their tourists and things like that, but I don't think they expected the influx of non-Portuguese people moving to Portugal. And I think that's a big struggle. Like, tourism season has always kind of been a thing. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo put Portugal on the map. So I think that brought a lot more people to
Everybody knows
Portugal.
that guy. Everybody knows him.
Yeah, I think it's it's hard for Portugal to also be like, yeah, we're happy that they're here, but it's
Yeah.
also making us not being able to afford our stuff as well.
Yeah.
But I think what you're doing, Morgan, goes a long way for the native Portuguese people, that you're actually adapting to the Portuguese culture and you're trying to learn the language and you're learning about the traditions and everything. I think that that really it goes a long way with Portuguese people. Like as long as you're not taking away their little Portuguese things and their traditions and you're not coming in here and just like making the whole country speak English now, like I think that speaks volumes for Portuguese people as well. It's like if you are gonna come, then you need to try to be a little more Portuguese too, because this is our country.
Absolutely. I feel like that's this even shouldn't be a personal opinion. If you're an immigrant in another country, you should adapt and you should assimilate because I mean, you're you're coming into their territory, their place, and it's extremely disrespectful not to. So, I mean, that's unspoken for me, honestly. So
Yeah.
why would I move here and not speak Portuguese and try?
Yeah, exactly. But some people don't, and they have now
Oh,
like Facebook
no.
groups for people that are just living there abroad or whatever it may be their situation, and they have almost like groups of friends that are just speaking English to each other. And now
Yeah.
because English is provided in schools there now,
Yeah.
everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very unfortunate. And it's cool that they provide the language. It's good to be
Yeah,
knowledgeable,
lovely.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like a universal language. But I do think, it's really, I feel a certain way when people just kind of like, if you don't speak English, then
Yeah,
I'm
and
not doing business here with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like I'm very fortunate that most places I go, most people speak a little bit of English, right? Because like I always, always, always try. I make it a point to initially speak Portuguese as the best that I can. A lot of people, and this is a typical story you'll hear from most immigrants or expats, where they're like, I go somewhere and they instantly start speaking English to me because they just know. And it happens all the time. I get it every single day. You know, they'll be like, you could just speak English. And I'm like, no, I want to practice. I want to learn.
She literally does say that.
Yeah.
She says, I'm
Yeah.
I'm learning.
yeah, estou
But it's-
aprendendo
yeah.
falar português, and I'm like,
See,
get it.
No, I'm so proud of you, Morgan, and it is such a beautiful thing to watch and see you guys build on this adventure. And if you're not there forever, hopefully you are. Like, whatever. This is such an amazing part of your guys' story. But what does your family think, Morgan? Kind of going into this different part of your life, I think it's like probably like, what? This is crazy. My daughter's in Portugal, right?
Especially
yeah.
because some people, believe it or not, don't even know what Portugal is.
I know.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a really interesting question. I've never had anyone ask me that.
That's a,
My family, we told them a long time ago. You know, we had a house and whatnot in Virginia, and we were like, we're gonna sell our house because one day we're gonna move to Portugal. And they're like, okay, yeah, you know, okay, cool. You know, like, but that was it. There was nothing really more. And then I feel like time flew so fast for them. And one day we were just moving to Portugal, and they were like, whoa, you know, like it hit my grandmother, it hit my mom. Like we stayed at her house the night we were leaving, you know, and
Yeah.
I feel like my mom finally was like, oh, wait a minute, like this is happening right now, you know? My sister, so I have two sisters. My sister who I grew up with, she actually came with us and stayed. She helped us bring, we have three cats, and you have to have one cat per person on the plane. So she came with us, and it was like a little vacation for her. And so for her, I think like she really is like, this is so cool. Like my sister lives in Portugal. You know,
Yeah.
this is really cool. It is hard. And I know my family and I, we kind of struggle with this, like the time, like just now, you know, the time difference is major and it really affects us. But I don't know. I guess I never really like, to me, it was like, this is my life. And like, I'm gonna do it, and, like, I
Yeah.
just hope they're proud and happy for me, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, as they should be, for sure. Yeah, it's something that I would love to do in my future too. It's such a dream because it is funny where our parents came to make a better life over here, and my dad kind of gets sad sometimes. He's like, "Man, I came to make a better life for you guys, and you guys, not that we're struggling like that, but it is American lifestyle is a struggle, and it's only gotten worse where I remember stories of my mom saying, "Oh my God, when we came to America, we filled the shopping cart and with almost nothing." You
I
know,
remember
all
when I was a kid and seeing my parents go to the supermarket and,
Yeah.
you know, $100 would buy you everything that you needed for the
everything.
week for a family of 4.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
can't do that
So it's
anymore.
just weird that like now it's like the $100 is like 5 things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sad. So I
Yeah.
think that's the desire of like just we're realizing that I think as a society, we're realizing that we're working way too hard and having zero quality of life. And living to work instead of
Yep.
working to
It's
live.
true.
And
It's
so I
true.
think the
Absolutely.
desire why everybody's moving to all kinds of different parts of the world or even different states is just to have a better quality of life. And you guys
Yeah.
are trying to navigate that and master that,
I
honestly.
think people are starting to see that it's time to take care of me. It's time to
Yeah.
take care of yourself, you know, first, because we're the only reason we can do this is because a couple years back when we first started getting this idea of moving here, we ended up opening a little side hustle of online fitness training. I run an online fitness training business. That's the only way we're able to sustain this. It's not huge by any means, but it's what got us moving. It's what got us over here.
So
Yeah.
you don't work on the farm.
We help out
No,
whenever they
yeah.
need. You know, we help out
Do not
whenever they
get
need,
paid.
but we do live our lives. Like
Yeah.
I still have work to do with clients back in the U.S. and like we know the time is different, so I have to accommodate to them. We do keep busy.
In my mind, I made a whole life for you. That was not what is really
Tell
happening. I
us.
was
Tell
like,
me
oh,
more.
they must be working for them, which I mean, would be
I mean,
awesome
it's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Because you guys were in the fields, okay?
You're picking batatas. We're over there cutting trees. We're cutting. It was cool.
It's the experience. It's
It
this like
is. Yeah.
we didn't even know that we could have, and the things that we learned from these people, you know,
My
and so we want to do this.
my dad growing up, Sylvia, would always be like, "Oh, tu não sabes nada." You know, he'd be like, "Ah, isso não tinha sapato, fazia isso, trabalhava lá fora desde 5 anos." And I'm like, "Damn, dude."
Wow.
So now I get to lightly experience that
Yeah.
here in a way and be like, dang, like that was legit. You hear those stories a million times from
It's
your
true,
dad, and
yeah.
you're just like, hey. But now you learn to respect it and be like, these
Yeah.
people had it really, really, really a lot more difficult than we ever did growing up. You know what I mean? In that sense, if you know, if that makes sense.
Do you guys feel somewhat settled at this point now? You guys kind of gone through some of those hard loops and turns when it comes to the embassy and things like that? Paperwork, all the boring stuff?
I would say not quite yet. We're
Per-
still in that. That's a big process right there.
Personally, I feel settled moving wise. I feel settled. I feel comfortable here, happy here. We've established such a good relationship with them and their family, and just our house. We finally feel like we've kind of have gotten it where we want it to be. I mean, I have actually like what, not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, the week
And I've
after.
got this nice, lovely folder here full of all my documents for IMA. I'm, you know, it's immigration.
Part of the process. It's part of the
Immigration is
process.
a unique
I know
thing.
my sister's getting her dual citizenship for her and her daughters now, and I think they're almost going on year 3
Yeah.
of it. It's a really long process for all of that. And even when your parents have marriage certificate, like people
Yeah.
don't realize that you have to, if my parents were born there, but their marriage wasn't registered in Portugal. So you have to go backwards in so many steps. Where it's like, okay, mom and dad, happy anniversary, first year married in Portugal. Like you're
Yeah,
now
right?
registered. So
No
it's all
kidding.
those little steps.
Dang.
But if you guys don't do the dual citizens and if you guys plan to have children, then it'll be much harder for them to become citizens. So it's almost like I can't let this next generation down
Yep.
by not giving them the gift of citizenship.
At
In
least give
general,
them
they
the
don't have to live in
opportunity.
Portugal, but all of Europe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. So like I guess that like two things for me. One, I was very fortunate that we've been married for 3 years, over 3 years, and so I got to apply for citizenship through him, through marriage. That's gonna take upwards of 4 years. So I need to get
Yeah.
residency. I need to be here legally. And I'm not here illegally. It's like this weird nuanced thing about immigration that nobody knows unless you go through it, right? Like I can accompany my husband and be here legally, right? Like I entered legally, but I don't have a visa and I don't have residency. And so like I can stay past the, what is it, like 100, or what is it, 90 or 120 days, something like that, as long as I'm trying to get residency. But then comes the bottleneck of how do you get residency when you can't even get in touch with an organization that is supposed to give you residency, you know? And so like luckily I got an appointment, but
But what you don't know is how
Yeah.
that appointment, you know, she literally had a timer set. Her phone was like, all right, call him, send him an email today. Call him, send him an email. Call him for like
Yeah.
months.
We visited, AMA facilities and like talked to people, but like getting an appointment it's nearly impossible. And I've talked to numerous people who still don't have appointments. And like it really, especially if you have a visa and your visa expires, you've got to return. You have to leave. Granted, I think they're doing like extensions where they'll let you stay a little bit longer in hopes of getting these people appointments, but immigration is very difficult. And
I think a lot of people think because Portugal is such an open country for immigration that it's much easier, but the process is so many steps and so much harder.
yeah, and just honestly, bureaucracy is very slow. So like that's like a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if they have a holiday, forget it.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And they have a holiday every other week. So yeah.
It doesn't
It's like,
sound
oh,
like a
we're off for another
Thursday.
week. Oh, we're off for Sunday Populage. Okay, we're off for a whole week.
But you know what? That goes back to, and this is something we talk about a lot because we love to show up at places when lunchtime hits and they're
Best.
closed for 2 hours.
I
We have
love
a
it.
bad habit of it, right? And we love to complain and be like, I can't believe they're closed for like an hour. But then when I take a step back and I look and I'm like, no, because that's that quality of life that they get to have that I can't complain about because of my convenience. They deserve that quality of life. I think that's excellent because I would have dreamt of that in the United States.
For real. We had like a 20-minute lunch or something when we worked
Yeah, I
I know,
together.
you're, like, scarfing your food down, and there they actually give them ample time to go home, cook a meal.
Yes.
for your family,
Yeah.
enjoy the meal, and then I don't know how they work after
Okay.
that, but
Yeah.
to be like falling asleep after those heavy lunches, man. Sometimes those lunches are so heavy. You're like, how do I work after this? So the challenge basically would be the immigration thing, right? Like adapting to the challenge, and then obviously the language thing as well. Did you feel like you struggled at all, Louis, with the getting in the rhythm of speaking Portuguese on an everyday basis to everyone as well?
I think she's doing great.
No, you.
Oh,
Me?
you,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I first got here, I thought I was the best speaking Portuguese guy in the world, right? I'm like, so I was in the military. I took the DLPT test for language, and I got a really good score because I was bilingual Portuguese. And I used it a couple of times in the Navy, and so I was like, yeah, I know how to speak Portuguese. Duh, I'm from Fall River. My parents Portuguese. I get here, and I'm like, wait a minute, everybody sounds absolutely different, and people are looking at me when I ask them a question, and they asking me to repeat myself, and I'm like, I speak Portuguese.
I know.
And then I realized that it was the accent. And
Yeah.
then people started telling me, dang, dude, you sound like you're from San Miguel big time. And I'm like, well, I mean, my dad is from San Miguel. But now I hear it. My
Yeah.
dad, and I hear my mom. And I have no idea how I caught that and not my
But I
mom's.
think that's so cool to be noticed for like your dialect, right?
I
Like
think so
really
too.
cool.
I think so too. People definitely
Yeah.
know I'm not from around here. They're like, either you're American or you're from the islands somewhere. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're right about
Which I'm
both.
seeing more people from the islands go to the mainland too, which has been kind of cool
Really?
because I feel like there's been this like the long controversy of the mainlanders think they're better than the
I
islanders
heard about
and the
that.
stuck-upness. I'm like, no, now we're in a great place where there's pretentious people everywhere.
That's right. I think it's great.
Yeah,
Some people
exactly.
accept it. Some people
Yeah.
accept. I'll be
Yeah.
reading my comments, right? And some people will be like, "Dang, dude, you sound wicked, Azori," and like, welcome. Other people be like, "Oh, I can't understand what you're saying. It's not vomj, it's vomoj or whatever it is," And I'll be like, "Hey, man, we all got accents,
I know.
She sounds different than me when we speak English."
My favorite
Yeah.
thing, Sophie, is when someone here in Portugal tells Louis, your Portuguese is really good. I
I'm like,
love
well,
hearing that. I think
thank
it's
you.
so funny because I'm like,
It's not.
no,
It's
but
how I always
saying
feel.
it. They're saying it like, like maybe he's trying to learn how to speak Portuguese.
Yeah,
You
they'd
know
be
what I
like,
mean? They're like,
"Oh, you guys' Portuguese is really good." I'm like,
But
it was my
we
first
did a,
language,
a
yeah.
video with like mainland Portuguese versus San
mhm.
Miguel, and the hate was extraordinary.
It's
And they
real.
were like saying that I had like she has a Western accent. I'm like, I am American.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. They're passionate about their stock. I
Yeah.
learned that accent is in a stock.
So now let's talk about like this social media thing. That was in the cards or not in the cards?
Oh, I
I
don't
would
even
say for me, not in the
know.
cards, definitely.
But you had kind of a social media presence with your fitness business in that sense, right?
So I was in the cards there. I had no idea I would come over to this side of my Portuguese culture. So I was doing my fitness thing, and it just wasn't. I was starting to learn this isn't like this is me, but it's not me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like cutthroat, and I'm not. I'm trying. It's just not working out the way I wanted to. So Morgan in Portugal. She had done a few things, and Morgan in Portugal was really starting to like pop off for her. And we kind of had a long discussion one day, and she was like, "You should just be you." And I'm like, I am trying to be me in fitness, but I can't show that every day because I'm not 24-hour fitness. Like I like to have a good time. I like to eat pastéis de nata. I don't work out 24 hours a day. I like to live my life and be fit. So I was like, you know what? So it came to nighttime, and I sat on this all day. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to listen to you because she's right all the time anyway. So I might as well. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of mimic what you do.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, cool. We had just gotten peacocks on the quinta. And she goes out, she's doing her thing. I live on a farm in Portugal with my husband, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I just woke up, my hair's wet. I just put water in my hair so I look somewhat presentable. I got my robe, my coffee. I'm like, I live on a farm in Portugal with my wife, and we just got peacocks. Let's go check them out. And I did. And the rest is history. Here I am talking to you right now.
It's so funny, but if I could tell you guys something really personal that I think people get a kick out of is the first day we did it. The first day Louis was like, okay, I'm gonna go follow you. He mimicked me so much. I was like stop copying me.
Yeah, it wasn't even until
Quit it.
later, maybe that day or the next day, because I was just copying what she was doing.
It was like
We had
stealing
another one
my
we went to the
content.
grocery store. I was like, babe, that's flattery. You should be flattered. I'm
I
copying.
was, but like, I don't know. It was just like,
Well, you
I'm
Well, tell 'em.
created
copying
like your
you.
own
Yeah.
Exactly.
special thing,
Yeah.
right? And you're
Then,
like, oh, now you're gonna coattail off of me?
hey, that's exactly what it was. Sylvia, she was like, probably like 3 days went by, and my stuff starts. I'm getting followers now, and I'm like, babe, this is really working. She's like, kind of feeling a certain way that like I'm gonna outdo her,
yeah.
outshine her in a
Faster,
way.
yeah.
And it's never happened.
No.
And it won't ever. So really all I did was just, I needed a leeway to
needed his
become
thing.
like, to
Yeah.
show you how I am comfortably on camera. Now I can do that, urgent fish shows like she don't top
Yeah.
on.
And
yeah,
you
I
can
think
kind of
like
see.
for any advice for anyone starting their social media career, I think being yourself is probably going to always be the easiest route, because there are times where I have no makeup and a bun on my hair, and I feel like because I've always portrayed so many versions of me that I never have to fake
Yeah.
like a character, hey guys, all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be editing a video. Like today I was editing a video. I was like, my hair looks effed up in this thing. Like, what is wrong with this
Wrinkle
thing?
patches.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's going out because this is the real, you guys want to see I'm documenting my life just like my wife told me to do. I'm documenting my life and showing you guys what we do.
And now I think it's fun because, like, compared to the first few videos that, he's made after learning how I do mine, you can really now see the difference between my videos and his videos. Like, we watch some and, like, mine are a lot more calm and I'm very, like, monotone in my videos, whereas Louie is so zany.
That's exactly what's going on
He's
in my
just, like,
mind.
all over
all
the
over the
place
place.
and so fun, and he keeps your attention. And I'm like, dang.
I
that's
think
When I
it's
re-
the coffee that Portuguese kids were given at like age 3.
Lot
Like
of
we all are
cafe, yeah.
so hyper.
yeah.
Lot of
So
cafe.
I just
Yeah.
stopped drinking Portuguese coffee. I can't drink coffee anymore. I got crazy anxiety. It was something else about when you live your best life that you don't realize is from working and being busy all the time, you're
Yeah.
suppressing these underlying things. And when you come here and you have this time and you have no stress, we'll say, right? Like it's like calmer, these things start to come out, right? So I developed this like insane anxiety, probably also because insane move, right? Like just so much going on.
Yeah.
And part of it was coffee. I had to stop drinking coffee. I was so hyper, I was getting dizzy, and Portuguese coffee is no joke. It's so
Yeah.
strong.
I
It's
know,
so
and they
strong.
have it like 17 times a day.
I love it.
He can drink it like all night. I will not sleep.
I
will
mean,
not
right before
sleep.
we came on, Morgan was like, oh, I think I got the afternoon slumps. I'm like, babe, it's more like the evening slumps. I was like, I'll make a cafe. You can have a couple of sips. She's like, no. But I didn't.
7:00.
I don't know. It just has become so organic watching you guys like evolve in this path in your life, and people are enjoying watching you guys so much because I think it's admirable and desirable. I
Definitely.
know it's hard. I know it's not always like the fun videos and behind the scenes. I'm sure there's so much that you guys go through, but it
Sylvia,
is
think
been
about it,
really
right?
fun watching you guys.
It is fun, right? We go
Yeah.
24 hours in a day. We shrink that down to less than 2-minute video.
And that's what you guys see. And like, there's so much
There's
happening.
so much else going on,
That's
right?
why I shared, that personal that I had a miscarry, because I was like,
Yes.
I need to show everybody that life isn't just let's go shopping and eat fun food. Like I'm still living a real life here. I'm still a real person, and I can bring you along on this very personal journey with me. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, we're living this dream life, and 2 years ago, I would have given anything to find creators like us to see what it's like here. And I want to be that for other people. I
Yeah.
want people to see like these are the businesses that are here. This is what it's like to eat here. This is how much it costs. Like anything, exploring, whatever. I just want
Yeah.
to be a
So
wolf of knowledge.
exactly. Morgan, what was your first video?
Oh my God. Well, I've
Oh,
been trying to do social media for a long time, but my first video here,
it was the theater one.
yeah,
That's the one
well,
that popped off.
so
I think.
here on the farm, so I tried to do social media when we first moved to Portugal. I tried doing like moving to Portugal. It just was too much. And then I posted one here about, I don't know if you know this, but where we live. And I think it's like a northern Portugal thing. The universities here, the students dress like Harry Potter characters.
Yes.
No, that's
That's
like a great way to describe it. It's a real
It's
thing.
awesome.
It's
There's
so
a name
cool.
for it. I can't remember it right now.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but we lived right by the university, and so we would always see them. Yeah, it's so cool. I'm like, I wish I dressed like that in college. And like
Yeah.
they're always walking everywhere, and they do hazing, so they make them march around and
They don't
yell.
haze. It's a different word. It's
Yeah.
initiation. Stop.
Sorry. And they were doing some stuff outside of our apartment window because we lived by a park, and I took like a video that was like opening the window being like, there's always something going on here in Portugal, right? Like there's always something going on. And it blew up. That was like my first video, I think, here, because the university kids were like, oh my gosh, I'm down there. That's me. Like, oh,
Oh,
that's... But then when we moved to the farm, my first video that I think really I was like, this is what I'm gonna do, was I went to a feta not too far from here, and I was like in the back seat. Louie went to the gym. I was in the back seat with my neighbors, and this is like first few weeks of living here, and I'm like shy and awkward trying to speak Portuguese to them. I'm alone. I have no one to help me
good for
translate.
you,
And
Morgan. That's
that was
amazing.
it. It was like people were like, "Oh my gosh, I used to go to that feta with my grandmother," or like, "I love that area," or like, "This brings back so many memories." And I was like, "This is what I have to do. This is what people want to see."
Morgan, you
You
have
enjoy.
guts, girl. You truly have
Why?
guts. Like
What do you
you,
mean?
yeah, because he was at the, like, he must be, has been your crutch, I'm sure, with speaking Portuguese, right? Like at least you have him to be able to navigate the language a little bit if he's by your side, but to be able to go to the feta without him and to really like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try to do it by myself. That's guts, girl. Like you
Aw,
really, I hope, feel like accomplished in a sense, because
I do.
even for somebody that has the immigrant parents, I would still feel nervous in some of those situations, especially not being in the rhythm of speaking Portuguese, and then you're with a Zinga that's a lot older that clearly, like, I'm sure she doesn't
No
speak much
English.
English.
No.
Yeah, no English at
No.
all, so you're forced. And that's
Yeah,
probably pushed you a lot too, is that your
it
surroundings,
has.
yeah.
I
Because when you're out and about in the cafes and going to restaurants, they're always speaking English, but when you're with, farm life, it's
Agreed.
different
It's
over there.
Agreed.
different. I have been loosely learning Portuguese with Louis and his family for a few years, right? Like since we met, pretty much. It would be like, "Oh, how do you say that?" or "How do you say this?" And I have a background
It was
in...
all a swear word, Sylvia. That's why I taught her first. It
No.
was.
No. I have
Of course.
I have like a background in language because I loved language in high school, so I pick it up decent, right? Like I would say
No, you do
decent. And so
great.
I'd be sitting at the kitchen table with him and his mom, and they'd be going back and forth. And I would not know specific words, but somehow I would know the context of what they're talking about. And I remember that's like my initial early stages. And then a year before, no, not even a year, a slightly less. So like not, what is it? It's September. So last August, I think I started taking lessons online. And that's how I met my friend Isabel. And that really was a game changer for me, but it still wasn't enough, right? Like she taught me
Right.
more than I had ever learned before, and she taught me very formal Portuguese. But then we moved here, and that was what I needed. Like anyone who's learning
Yeah.
another language, the only way you're truly going to learn is by being immersed in it. I have no choice. I hear it constantly. I'm going to the bathroom in the stall in the gym, and I hear the two ladies outside talking back and forth, and I'm like, what are they saying? I need to know. I need to learn.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it's
And that's why I asked Louis too, like, did you have to feel that rhythm? Because when you're there is so different than when you're living in like a place that has festas, right? And
Absolutely.
you're just
Because now I
popping
got to
in and
think.
out of festas, right? Like the
I got to go. Right. You're
lifestyle.
out of Festa mode. So now I got to go to the bank and request a car that's going to take 3 weeks to
yeah.
get here. And I got to figure out. And now we got to talk business. I got to go buy a car in
Yeah.
100% Portuguese. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I
that's
mean,
a
there's
lot
words
to
that I
think about.
probably never even heard before that are used
No,
in
Yeah.
those
no. I'll be
conversations.
like, hold on a second. I'll go to Google Translate and I'll be like, it's the only
It's
way.
true. It's true.
Well, now
Yeah.
the new iPhone 17 update is the translation. Like if someone's speaking to you in a language, it'll translate it in your ear in English
Wow.
or whatever
What?
language. Yeah, we're
No
going
kidding.
places with the iPhone. Okay,
Sheesh.
Oh,
so
goody.
now that you guys are there, you guys are living in Portugal. I think you guys are comfy and settled kind of where you are in Aveiro.
Mhm.
Is the social media thing that you guys just kind of want to see where it goes and just keep on
Yeah.
rolling with it? It has to be
100%.
exhausting
Yeah.
at some point too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like one of those things where you're like, I can't complain about it. I've always wanted this. I've always wanted to do this, but it is tiring. I mean, it's like there are just some days where we're not doing anything. And what do I share, you know? And like so we try to find as much as we can. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we genuinely enjoy doing
Oh, I
it.
love it.
Like,
It sparks
yeah,
creativity,
yeah.
Yeah.
Gets us out of our comfort
out of our
zone.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
I go to places that I normally wouldn't.
Meet
Well, I'm
people.
Oh,
sure
man,
people
I
are
mean,
reaching out to you guys to, try out their hotel or try
I
out their
love it.
restaurant and stuff like
We
that. So you now have these opportunities to
Yeah.
visit places and try things that you never have before too. So that's
very,
really
very,
cool.
what an opportunity. It's a very, very blessed
Yeah.
to be part of this community. People reaching out to Morgan and being like, hey, we have this AL. We'd like you to come here with your husband. And we're
Yeah.
like,
What? This
uh-huh.
is real? Like,
Okay.
our goal, like our dream was to travel Portugal. And I think that this is going to be one of the ways that really makes that happen because, we don't have unlimited funds. It would be amazing, but we live on a very strict budget every month. And these opportunities, meeting people like you, meeting people like the Portuguese kids, like we had watched the Portuguese kids forever, like forever. And then Jess, Derek's wife, reached out to us and was like, hey, I'm the wife of the Portuguese kids. And we were
Yes.
like, hold on, what? And
Yes.
like,
He loves you
amazing.
guys.
We love her. And this community is like nothing else.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
then,
happy that she's kind of stepping into her Portuguese influencer because
Yes, I
before it was
know.
all the Disney stuff, and I'm starting to see her do some of the Portuguese content, and I'm like,
love
we're
it.
happy
Love
to have you, girl. Like,
Yep.
keep doing it.
Love it. We encourage.
Yeah.
I love the way we all just encourage each
Yeah.
other. There's no like
Yeah.
Yeah.
anybody being better. It's
competition.
like if I see
Yeah.
something that interests me, I'm gonna post it as a story, even if I find it not the most interesting. Right? If I can help somebody out by no, I'm not even kidding. Like if it's not, I'm like, who cares?
It's
This
not
is
your
somebody.
thing.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
my thing, right? But it's still Portuguese, and this person's still trying to get their name out. Why? What's it gonna hurt me to go ahead and share that to my story?
It's true.
It's not gonna hurt at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
When I first started, I felt like imposter syndrome. I'm like, I'm not Portuguese. I'm not even related to Portuguese, And then I realized like, well, my niche, my like thing is embracing this culture that I don't know, that it's unknown, and it has changed the game for me. I never in a million years would have thought that this is where my life
me
would
either.
be,
Me either. This is what I was born into, right? My first language, like Morgan said, was Portuguese. And I never thought that my Portuguese culture would come back full circle in my 40s and be like, welcome to Portugal, Louie. This is where your parents started, so you might as well finish it here.
Maybe I'm wrong and maybe selfish for saying this, but I feel like there's not a lot of cultures like the Portuguese culture where like they're just so diehard for their traditions and heritage and language, and it's such a small country. And growing up, nobody knew where Portugal was at, and it should just be the destination spot for vacations
People
now.
love it. People love it. It's the
Yeah.
best country. It's the
Like,
best country.
I'm pretty decently well versed on geology. I knew where Portugal was, and that's saying a lot coming from like the area that I'm from. And so when I met Louis, I'm like, I remember one of the first conversations we had. He's like, yeah, I speak Portuguese. And I'm like, you speak Portuguese? What? He's like, yeah, my family's Portuguese. And I was like, that's so cool. And then, fast forward, 5, 6 years, and now everybody's going to Portugal. It's like, how overnight did it become
Right.
this, like, everybody knows where it is, everybody wants to go, everybody wants to move, crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Well, thank you for doing what you guys do because you're entertaining all of us.
We love
I
it.
talk to so many people and they always bring you guys up and ask if
I
I'm
love
following
it.
you, if you've heard of
So
it.
blessed.
Like, you guys have to be like now recognized in public.
So check it
Oh
out.
my-
It's so cool, right? Morgan's always like, I don't know what to say. So we'd be out, especially
So
during.
awkward.
I even created a little like thing on my IG saying amigos because I was like, we gotta start capturing these moments. We go
Yeah.
out into a vid and like just in the forum or just in a store going to get a table and people be like, Morgan, Louie, and we'd be like,
Okay, no.
sometimes they call me Luigi, and I'm like, who is
Yeah.
calling me by my Portuguese name? And
So many people
My
call
legal
him.
name.
So many people call him, and then like we'll turn around, and I in my head instantly go, he must know them, like from the gym or something.
Yeah.
Not thinking that it's because of our social media.
it's such a cool thing.
It's crazy.
I love that people come up to us. Sometimes I'll get messages that's like, hey, I saw you guys at auction the other day, but I was too shy to come up to you. I'm like,
Aw.
please say hi. We'll take a
Yeah.
picture. We'll like put it in my little folder on IG. We're
Yeah.
just regular people.
We are just
We're
regular
just regular
people.
people just trying to
Yeah.
live our lives.
What's cool about the recipe that you guys have created for yourselves is that you're desirable in Portugal and out. And I think that's a really hard thing to do. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's
a
like you're
beautiful thing.
popular in Portugal or you're
Mhm.
popular over here for being Portuguese here. And you guys kind of mastered
Match it.
something in the recipe
Louie, if I
works.
can add to that, we've got a following in Canada.
Yeah, as well.
Yes.
We were on Gent TV with Nelly
saw
Pedro,
that.
right? And we had a little session, a little interview on Gent TV in Canada. And we got so many. I'd watch you guys all the way
Look at
from
those
Canada.
screenshot
We
of us
love you
on the
guys. And I'm like, this is, we are so blessed.
I
We
think
are so
it's
blessed.
because we have that connection with both. We're,
Yeah.
born in the US and you have Portuguese roots and now we live in Portugal. So we get that like
We have different buckets of people.
combination.
We have that.
Yeah.
We have the folks who want to live our dream and are saving up and are trying to get their visas and are trying to move here. And then we get the people who love Fall River, are very passionate about Fall River, New Bedford, Massachusetts, and that's where
Yeah.
I'm from. And then we get the basic, just like I said, basic people who find our lives very interesting, just
Yeah.
follow us. So
How I told my husband I was going to have you guys on the podcast, I was like, guess who I'm going to have on the podcast? He was like, who? I'm like, I live with my wife on a
Awesome.
farm in Point. I try to do like the Fall River
I love
Boston
it.
accent.
I
I was
love
like,
that.
and he's like, no way.
I love that. I
And
love
I
that
couldn't
you
even get it out 'cause I
remember
started
us.
laughing. I'm like, I can't even do his accent.
I love that you remember us from our opener because I've always, you study social media, right? And you're like, you got to develop a niche and you got to get a quick opener because people's attention. Yeah, I know people can't scroll for more than 2 seconds, right?
That's me.
So I never thought that like my wife and I live in Portugal. My wife and I live on a farm in Portugal would be such a like, huh? What did you
Right.
say? And actually grab somebody's attention.
Yeah.
People tell me all the time, you should change that. And then somebody will comment for me, like, why would he change it? He's getting new followers every day. And I'm like, thank you.
It's hard to talk about yourself.
When we first started it, like when I first started it, it's so awkward, right? And I remember trying to tell Louie, like, you literally have to take your phone. Also, look at my phone case. It's so cute.
Is that from Aliar?
It is. It
Oh,
is.
Y'all, that's my friend Angela's business. I'm like, I recognize that one.
She's so sweet. She asked if
She's
she could
very
send it to
sweet.
me, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
But I literally told Louie, I'm like, you have to take your phone just like an influencer. Like I remember one of the first times talking to Brian too. I'm like, I feel so silly. I'm out in public and I'm like, I live in a farm, and and I'm like, it's so awkward. And you have to like, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like exposure therapy, the more you do it, the easier it gets in a way. And like
Guess what? I got over that quick.
he did. He really did. And
Yeah,
he's
I
better
can
at it than I
sense
am.
that you were made for the spotlight.
I just,
He's
if
so
I'm
good
going to
at
be
it.
myself, I want you to see like,
Yeah.
I can be a goofball. I can be serious.
Yeah.
That's just who I am, really. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we got so lucky. We it's still sometimes it's weird because like I literally feel like I post my video and then I like move on with my life, right? Like I post my video because I want to share with you guys, but I move on with my life and I forget that I have like this insane job in a way. Like I don't know. It's so surreal. I can't even describe it. I can't even describe
Well,
it.
We bounce off each other,
congratulations,
too.
because I'm so happy that you were able to find like the niche, and I think that's what everyone always talks about. Find your niche,
Yeah.
and you guys you found it, and then
It literally happened. Yeah.
and then when you get the community behind it, you can change your niche a few times, right? Because you have the
Yep.
support of your followers and stuff.
True.
Sometimes it changes without you even really trying.
Yeah. Like when we actually talked about this yesterday. When we first started social media, like when we were both really doing it full time, we were sharing so much of the homestead, right? It kind of opened up opportunities of, well, why don't we go explore more of Portugal? And it happened where she had family and friends visiting and they stay for months at a time. And so we just gave them space. And it's like, we're able to kind of shift now. And it's not just a homestead on Portugal. Now it's come shopping with us. Now it's let's go travel, and I think that's so cool that we have this community who wants to see more than just the homestead.
And also because there's not so many children of immigrants anymore, and there are the second, third generations that don't speak any English as well. I think that too, where you're hitting those people, not just Portuguese people, but all people that are scared to make that jump because they don't know the language and all the other things. So you guys have like the best of both worlds, right? Like you have the child of immigrants that can easily get a freaking dual citizenship, and then you have
Yep.
Morgan over here struggling.
Right,
She's
right.
married somebody with,
Right,
similar.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not easy, but you know what? You guys are having so much fun, and I think that's the beauty of it. It's like you guys are living this life that people are like, how did they do that? I hope I answered everybody's questions that they had for you guys.
It's not easy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it comes with everything, ups and downs, ups and downs. Everybody only sees about a minute and 35 seconds of
Yeah.
like clips, but we're still regular people at the end of the day. We still have our highs and lows, and well, we feed off each other really. Like when we were going through what we went through a couple of weeks ago, you could kind of feel it in the videos,
Yeah.
because my wife is down and here I am trying to continue as much as we can, like to keep us up by keeping us kind of, relevant on social media. So here, but it just, the tone was off, because I bounce off her and she bounces off me. And when
Yeah.
one of us is off, it kind of throws everything off.
For sharing that, Morgan, because I know it's so hard to go through and then show your face and act like you're happy when you're really not. So I think being so real about that, because for some reason we have this thing as women where we can't share those things because it feels like a failure, or it feels like
Right?
we can't be excited, and it is so common for women to go through this in their life multiple times in their life, but it's never really
Right.
spoken. And
It's
so
true.
someone with a platform that could be like, I'm going through something like this, it makes it so that somebody else could feel okay with
Yeah.
opening up about that, because it is, I don't know if the statistic is still the same, but it was 1 in 4 women go through
Yeah.
this, and it's such an unspoken thing, and I think bringing light to that, and owning that this happened and it's sad.
Yeah.
And I'm sad right now. And
Yeah.
not always being the 100% happy, "Hey, we live on a farm in Portugal," is okay and actually very human of you.
Sure.
And I think that is
Yeah.
only gonna gain more respect from especially women, that you're sharing the real tough parts of your guys' life too. So
Yeah.
if you're waiting in line at the embassy as well, you should film that too. Like, this is
Yeah.
the sucky part as well.
Let's see. For
It's
real.
snail mail over here. It's so
It really
hard
is.
to get
So
anything
true.
done.
It's weird because like on social media, I we get so much criticism. I say so much, right? Like we actually get probably less criticism than most people do, which very good thankful for. But like, we still get that criticism. So sharing something so hard like that, you get a comment that's like, well, you guys should have insurance that covers everything because you're both so young and anything can happen. And it's like
We're
it being very
figuring this
personal. We
out.
never thought that we could have children to begin with. It just happened. And then by the time
Unplanned.
unplanned, and by the time we found out that we were pregnant and it registered and we became excited for it, it happened. And it's like, do I share this with people? Is this something that, and then how much of it do I share, right? Like, I'm not trying to bombard and make my whole account this, but that's what's consuming me right now. Like, I know, the emotional toll, the physical toll, the relationship toll, whatever it is, it's all affected. Your whole life is affected. And it's like, how do you add that into your life, into your job?
You have to still go with the motions of your everyday life, but you have this in your head of loss. And no matter how soon,
Yeah.
in or how early in your pregnancy you were, it's a loss. You
Yeah.
guys lost. And that doesn't have to be hidden. I'm sorry that you guys went through that. So I think if anything, it made people love you guys even more, because you can't get more authentic than sharing your pain
It's true.
and all your
And I think I tell a lot of people too, I'm like, from this, I have this newfound hope. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about women. And now I never thought, like we never thought, should we have kids? And now it's like, now we know we can in a way, right? And we're in this beautiful place that prioritizes family like I've never seen. They prioritize family and children like nothing else here. And now it's like, is this something we want to do? And can we bring you guys along on that journey? So it's very um from that sadness we have found
You guys
Newfound
have
hope.
had so much personal growth just in
yeah.
that
Oh,
short time that you guys have been
Right.
there, that you would have never had continuing your lives and
Exactly.
absolutely.
mundane
Even,
routines.
the man in this, I have learned so much.
Yeah.
I learned so much
And
with
it's
my wife
hard, right,
lately.
from your end to know how
Oh,
to
man.
be
Yes.
there for her, because you're not going to feel the same things that she's feeling. And sometimes you may get on her nerves or something because she just ugh, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just ugh. And you're
Yeah.
going through it and you're like, I'm trying to do everything to make you happy. And it's like, but you can't because what I want, I lost, right? Like these are things that she's gonna have to work through. Sometimes it's just being and being
Yep.
in that processing moment of it. And I
Just
promise it does get easier. And look what it did. It made you guys question maybe we do want to be
Mhm.
parents. So would
exactly.
you have had that perspective before? I don't know.
I'm glad it's
Well,
with her.
No.
oh, for sure. And it's so you guys are just a joy to see on our screens. And I'm happy that you guys have one another to support each other in this
Thank
adventure. And I
you.
can't wait to watch more adventures
Oh,
of
we love
Morgan
it.
and Louie in Portugal.
Thank you so much. Sylvia, your middle name is the same one as my mom's, Maria Manuela.
Oh my
So
gosh, my mom's name's Manuela, so I hold on to it so much.
it's our life, it's
Yeah.
our life. We're just
Yeah.
trying to live our lives. Like,
And you know
Yeah.
what? That's also the evolution of like families now, where we're becoming more of like, no, this is our family now.
Mhm.
Where before it's like, oh, you have to make
Yep.
sure that you do this and do that with all the
True.
family and make everybody a priority. And so it's changed where we're being a little bit more selfish with our families, but I think that's
Yeah.
the way it should be. All right.
I'm
Well,
excited.
how people follow you guys? Where can they follow you? Where should they follow you?
So both of our handles are very similar on TikTok and Instagram. I am Morgan in Portugal.
and on TikTok and Instagram, I am Louie in Portugal.
You are not following them yet, go ahead and hit that follow button. I think you guys are just
Amazing.
growing like a mile a minute. It's been so fun to watch this
Thank you.
steady
Thank you, Sylvia.
growth. And thank you again for sharing your guys' life and entertaining the Portuguese community and just
Yeah.
sharing our Portuguese culture with everyone. Continue força, you guys. I'm so happy to have met you.
Awesome.
No,
Likewise. Thank
you've
you
been
so much.
here since day one. Thank
I know.
you.
I'm like, I really have.
Yeah, literally.
I know way more about you guys than you guys
Yeah.
wanted.
Right.
No. Stage 5 clinger. But no, it's so it's so fun to watch it. And I get so excited for people that are doing things like this because it is needed. And like you said, Morgan, there
Mhm.
wasn't someone like for you to follow. So to be kind of you started a trend, you know?
I
You gotta
know.
thank Morgan for
What a
that. That's
beautiful
for sure.
trend.
Yeah, baby.
What a beautiful trend. We have so much to
Oh,
share.
we love it.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Every
excited.
day we wake up and we're like, well, what can we post today? So
Mhm.
always be on the lookout. We always got a new adventure coming up.
Is there anything that you want to leave your fans and listeners with or anything? We've just said a
I
lot.
will say, if you have a desire, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, stick with it, no matter what that is. That could be moving away, that can be getting a new position at work, that could be having a family. Whatever it is, if you stick to it and you really, really believe in it, you will achieve it.
Absolutely.
Mine is corny. I have this quote that I live by, and I think that a lot of people can use it. It's that growth comes from deliberate discomfort. So putting yourself in those difficult situations, making those hard choices, making the choices that are like, this is life altering, that's where you're going to grow. That's where you're going to become a better person.
When you're the most uncomfortable is when you're learning. I hope you guys have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
And
You as
I
well.
will
Have a
have
good day.
it's 1 p.m. here. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And I look forward to
No
continue
worries.
following you and supporting you guys in any way that I can.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Sylvia. We appreciate you having us on. This was
much.
so much fun. Thank you.
Yeah, beijinhos.